Surfer girl gleaming and bright, teeming with earth and sea. Surfer girl, love and light, bringing myself back to me. Surfer girl, one true love.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to ICU with Karla Sue. I am Karla Sue. I'm also known as Karla Bonkowski-Magnin. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, a certified trauma treatment professional, a composer, a choreographer, a dancer, a poet, a singer, a performer, a minister. What else am I? I do it all for you. I do it all because we need support, and I want to be able to provide it. I am so pleased to invite you here to my first show of ICU with Karla Sue on the I Have Today TV network. Let's have a toast to that. Today, we are getting to know each other. So I've given you a whole list of things that I am. What I want you to remember is that Karla Sue is a place where you can go when you need that bolstering, when you need that support, when you need to remind yourself of your value in this world and your place in this world. Which brings me to the first point that I want to bring up for you guys. I approach my careers, I approach my relationships, I approach my TV show, I approach everything from a foundation of understanding what is necessary for human wellness. The way that I can break it down and make it really easy to chew on and consider for you guys is breaking it into three prongs. The first one for human wellness is belongingness, inclusion. Where I am, is it a good fit? Oftentimes, if the individual is in an environment where it's a poor fit, the individual's performance and happiness is not optimized. So we need to keep that in mind. So belongingness and inclusion to a place. The second one that I think is really important, and it goes along with this, is community. What kind of community support do people have? If you're an artist like I am, living in the suburbs of a major city, what kind of support do we have for music? What kind of support do we have for dance? In our families, what kind of support do we have for simply being who we are? So community is a necessary extension of relationship, and a strong supportive community leading to dependable, reliable relationships will help all human organisms. I know that sounds weird, but just flow with me on that. Just think of us as a species and pull back our consciousness, and let's look at everything from the 30,000 foot perspective. The final thing that I will assert, and I would love your feedback about this. So we've already gone over belongingness, inclusion, where you come from, is it a good fit? We've already talked about community and relationships. Do they support you? Do they honor who you are and what you bring to the table? Or do they go, oh, that's nice for you. I wouldn't want that for myself. You can discern the levels of support by the responses that you get from people in your network. The third thing is purpose. People need purpose. We need it more than any other mammalian species, and I'll tell you why. Because we are so advanced with our brains that we can think our way into oblivion. Purpose, the reason why we get up in the morning, the things, the activities, the relationships, the practices that we use throughout our day gives us meaning. And a human without meaning is a very sad human. That can also lead to aberrant acting out behaviors. So let's understand that. On our inaugural journey, and I'm turning my phone off. Sorry about that, guys, getting the hang of this. On our inaugural journey to ICU with Karla Sue, where I help you shine your light through your mindset. Remember, I just said with our advances in our brain, we can talk ourselves and think ourselves into oblivion. Uh-uh. We aren't going to do that here. That is not supported. What is supported is who you are. I see you, I hear you, I support you. This is a community. Part of my 3 points of assertion that are important for human wellness. This can become a nurturing community for all of us if you'd like it to be. So interact as much as you'd like to, and I will always personally respond to you. Always. Even if it's at 3:30 in the morning, I will respond to you because we need a holding environment. We need a beautiful, soft place to land when we don't know where else to go and we need to recoup. Okay, we're going on to another 3. I have an operating system for my life and I call it C cubed. So it's also a 3-pronged approach that becomes exponentially more powerful as you apply it. Those 3 prongs start with compassion. So in our daily lives, we're going to the post office, we're going to the market, we're going to wherever. How often do you encounter people who are warm and genuine and may offer nothing but a nice smile or a hello? How often do we find people that view us with suspicion or have fear in their own eyes? Let us not do that. Let us cultivate compassion for ourselves and everyone else because everyone has a story. You never know what it is. By having compassion, gosh, this person might be going through something that I don't know about, sets you up for success in your relationships and in everything that you strive for along your path. Once you have compassion, then you can say, okay, so what is the story? I'm curious. What makes this person act the way that she acts? What makes the system run the way that it runs? I have compassion for the people caught up in this, but what is causing it? Let me understand. And then when we have the compassion piece already in place, we're curious, non-judgmental, seeking from the other what the story is. We have already developed a connection, which is vital for mammals, especially the human animal. Now, I have a background in a lot of things. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I am a certified trauma treatment professional. I am a minister. I am a yogi and a yoga teacher. And that's classical training, not Western training, which is fine, but that just happened to be the route that I went. I am a classically trained pianist, a classically trained flautist, a classically trained ballerina, a classically trained choreographer. Classics, classics, classics. And for me, I think the reason that I chose the classics was because, and this is kind of a heavy story, guys, there is wisdom in the classics. They may not be complete. We cannot defer to them ultimately on every single occasion. But the classics have wisdom. The classics have information. And by being classically trained from the time, I think I started ballet when I was 3, maybe early 4. By being in the classic tracts in the arts, you have a foundation where you can create new, beautiful stuff informed by the classics, but you can create new, beautiful things that encompass all of the wisdom that you've pulled from. So here's the deep story. I was always supported in my family of origin for my artistic skills and for my intellect. But I was adopted when I was an infant. And the family that got me, they're really wonderful people who do not resemble me in any way. I was a fish out of water in my family of origin. And my mother tried. She really tried. But her own construct of what she valued, her own construct of how to keep her little girl safe, really was a major obstacle for me to overcome. When I was 24, I was on the track to be a professional working musician with Sony Records in New York. And she was so scared for me that she instructed me to come home. And I was so scared of losing her that I did so. In the 30 years between then and this moment, I have earned every degree, every certificate, every skill, every recognition that I can to make me a legitimate healer, a legitimate healing force in this world. And what I have come back to is that the very core of who I am was good enough all along, even when the family didn't think so. So, pardon me. I need to have a sip from my glamorous I Have Today TV network. Thank you to Diane Forster for the swag. It's a brilliant mug. So, what is my point, you may ask? And a lot of people ask that. I have many points, but I think my biggest point is who you are. That is your starting point. I know that the 30 years of scholarship and training and activity in the world has made me an even better songwriter. I know that it has made me an even better choreographer. I know that it has definitely made me a better healer. So I am grateful for the package that I have earned. I went through the dark night of the soul and said, okay, Mom, you don't want me to do this. I want you more than anything, and I will comply. And I was miserable. I was suicidal at times. I was definitely self-harming because the real me needed to come out, but it didn't have a place to be supported. So, y'all, I am launching this TV show to give you a place to talk about what it is in your life that is screaming to come out. What authentic, beautiful, pure desires you have for your life and your impact in the world. It can be what we call small. Perhaps you come up with a new amazing recipe for a superfood that happens to taste like a Snickers bar. Fantastic. It could be, and that would be individual, right? You're working with your company. It could be on the public stage if you're a journalist and you're putting yourself out there. Whatever stage it is that is resonating with your heart, that you dream about at night, that you fear during the day, that's where we're supposed to look. That's where we're supposed to dig. So I assert to you today on our inaugural edition of ICU with Karla Sue, Shine Your Light Through Mindset, Music, and Movement, we are going to accomplish this goal. We are going to together bolster all of us in our self-belief of our soul-centered path in life. If it's in a healing profession, if it's in the arts, if it's in working with your hands, which is so rewarding, whatever it is, together through our discussions, you're going to figure out where you need to go. And you're going to know at least the first step, the next right step to take to accomplish those goals and to travel along the path. Goals cannot be reached in one phone call. Well, maybe they can, but in general, here's a good template. Have an idea, a sense of something that just enlivens you and you can feel it and you can see it. For me, I can see a show that I'm putting together. I can see that. I can see the Tony Awards. We hold that in our mind. We summon the feeling of offering this value that only our signature can deliver in our unique way. And then we discern what are the next right steps. The next right step might be a phone call. It might be an email. It might be a podcast to freshen your skills. I don't know what your next right step is, but you will. Because when you get the inspiration, you're going to have a thought. If the thought is something that makes you feel bigger and brighter, follow it. When the thought feels contracting and the emotion feels contracting, we're going to swipe left on that. We don't need that. Okay, you're here. I acknowledge you. This is a mindfulness practice, by the way. I acknowledge this thought. I don't have to believe in it. I might consider it later. Maybe not. Swipe left. We are in control of every single thing that we put out in this earth. And until we are aware of our ability to create a life of meaning and connection and purpose, we may be floundering. We may be exhibiting really bizarre behaviors. It happens. I'm in mental health. It happens. So let us find you the pond for you to swim in. Let us find you the team you need to build for your dream. Let us find you the people that you love, that you spend time with and shoot ideas off of. Let us find you that holding environment where you are seen, you are heard, and you are felt. Now, felt, this is, I'm sure everybody knows what it feels like. Let's summon that. What does it feel like to feel felt? That somebody gets me? It's the most powerful resonance in the world. It's critical from the time that we are born through the time that we die. Feeling felt. In mental health, we would call that attunement. Is the caregiver attuned to the needs and the state, the condition of the infant or the child? We can call that attunement in adulthood as well. Another good word is alignment. Are we in alignment? Do our values align? What I see you with Karla Sue will provide for you, and again, give me your input so I know I'm doing it right. I want to give you takeaways. I want to give you skills for mindset, skills for mindfulness, skills for movement, to move energy that feels stuck out of your body, skills for creative expression. I want to build for you a toolbox so that by the time you've seen a few of my episodes, you have a bunch of things that you know you can rely upon in those solitary, anxious times. You just dig into that Karla Sue spiritual toolbox or the Karla Sue spiritual expression and creative expression toolboxes. You can have any kind of toolbox or one big, huge one. I'm going to keep offering things to you. And what sticks, what works for you, let me know. Because the more we have to pull from, the better our chances are of something resonating. I'm going to give you choices. I'm going to expose you to people. I'm going to expose you to environments, to nature, to festivals, to culture, to families, to food. I see you. I hear you. I feel you is my goal. And with your participation, my loves, we can really make this mean something. So let's do that. Actually, you know what? For a moment, we're going to go to a little bit of music, but just for a moment, bear with me, because we're going to get some of this energy moving and flowing. We're going to do this through my movement modality that I call Bhavana yoga dance. Bhavana is a Sanskrit word that translates loosely to the cultivation of your divine purpose. Why are you here on this earth? What does the divine think that you're capable of? And how can you serve others? Bhavana. And I'll even show you. I don't know how the network's going to feel about this, but I have it tattooed. I have it tattooed right here for the third chakra symbol, because it is so important for me to avoid the pitfalls of the material world, the 9 to 5, the retirement, the this, the that. Because when I get involved in that, I am not creative. So I put it on my skin. Okay. Something that I found when I was speaking to you from the chair earlier is I found that my chest was collapsing a little bit. And I think it was a reflection of my nervousness in this inaugural episode. So let me recreate for you my posture. It was kind of like this. I'm talking to you and I'm craning my neck up, but I'm sort of protecting myself, right? I get it. It's a new thing. Novelty is very unsettling. So what do? A counter posture. So if I go from this to this, if I even reduce the craning of my neck and look straight at you, look at the power of this posture. Coming from this, like me, please me, I'm protecting myself, to bring it. I can handle it. What can I do for you? Your takeaway from this is that every pose, every posture, every way that you are sitting or holding yourself has a whole wide range of opposite, right? So let's say you're typing away. Let's say you're trying to figure something out and you're squinting. Pinchy face. I remind myself a lot, stop pinching your face, Karla Sue. And now my face is no longer pinched. That's how simple mindful movement to reset your emotional state can be. We will have sequences. We will have composed dances. We will have all sorts of wonderful things. But the thing that I want you to remember right now is that you can do it from wherever you are. You can do it. You can do it. So I want all of you at home real quick, then we're going to music. I want you to sit straight up, and I want you to hold the idea of safety in your mind. It's a big thing for traumatized people. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. Now, let's explore one of my original songs. It's called Surfer Girl. It's an homage to the guitar herself. She brought me out of the darkest times in that period of my life. I hope you enjoy.
Surfer girl gleaming bright, teeming with earth and sea. Surfer girl, love and light, bringing myself back to me. Oh, surfer girl, wild and free. Waves carry heart and soul and comfort me. My wounds no longer bleed, my soul no longer needs. I am surfer girl, and I am surfer girl, wild and free. Waves carry heart and soul and comfort me. My wounds no longer bleed, my soul no longer needs. I am surfer girl, and I am free. I am free. I am free. Oh, surfer girl. Oh, surfer girl. Oh, surfer girl.
Okay. So this is the scariest part, because it's like, oh God, I hope you like it, right? I mean, every artist is like, oh God, I'm so nervous to listen to my own stuff in front of people. Let's reflect on that. The salient points that jumped out at me were wild and free. So I'm not contained. I'm not limited. I am not oppressed, suppressed. I'm wild. I'm free. But with Surfer Girl, it also is a connection to the sea, to the salt water that runs in our bodies, that fuels the entire earth. It lets us see that in the song, the singer of the song, me, is connected with Gaia, with the earth, with the sea. And what brought me back to life during that time after an unsuccessful, thank goodness, suicide attempt was the beauty of a guitar. Something as simple as that. And what came out of me was what she represented. Surfer Girl represented, the guitar, represented a different reality from the one that I was living, through music and through connection, through meaning and purpose. I know that every one of you sitting, watching this from home or listening in the car or whatever you're doing, I know you have a playlist that goes in your head. I know that when certain things happen to you or certain themes, perhaps loss as a general theme or defeat or whatever, I know there is a loop in your head, not only of your own internal monologue, but of the songs that support that. Songs, art, reflects our inner state. Let's use it to heal through the expression. I'm not sure that there's much else that I want to share with you today. I will look at the questions, but I'm going to pose this to you again. According to Karla Sue, expert in mental health trauma, divorce, attachment theory, there are 3 things that are critical, in summary, for wellness for the human animal. Those 3 things are a sense of place. Do I fit where I am? And if you do, limits don't apply. If you don't, you've got kind of a road ahead of you, and I can help you with that. The second thing is a sense of community, which is relationships, really. What is the relationship of self to other? The community is other. Job might be other. Anything outside of self, how do I relate to that? We'll get into integrity and character every single episode as we move along. And you'll find it's really freeing and it's not difficult. And number 3 is our purpose and our meaning. What do we provide to the world? What do people say they admire us for? Why do they always come to you to help them figure out stuff? Because you've got something. You've got something that they need. You've got something that they want. So fulfill whatever your purpose is that provides you meaning. And then you've got a pretty happy blueprint for your life, always following the next right thing to do. You will know the next right thing to do on your path because it will make you feel bigger. It will make you feel more expansive. You might have butterflies and fluttering in your heart. You might be short of breath. It feels exciting and nervous. When the next right step that you're considering makes you feel contracted and small and fitting back into a groove where you emerged from, I would assert to you that that is not a path that deserves a lot of your energy because it limits you. In conclusion, my beautiful people, I want you to find me on my website. I want you to reach out to me on my Facebook and my Instagram and my LinkedIn. All of these links will be in the text below. I want you to tell me what you need, because baby dolls, you have no idea. I am a dog with a bone. I will do everything I can for you. And you know what's the beautiful thing about that? Is that everything that I do for you, I also do for myself. It is a self-sustaining behavioral cycle. Oprah speaks about it. Feeling down, the best way to change your mindset, best way to change your state, help another person. There's wisdom to this. So, thank you for letting me build myself up while we build all of you up. And we create the most beautiful music, the most beautiful friendships, the most beautiful relationships with our children and our elders and our community and our world, where we are responsible for other people's well-being just by how we act. We can do that in every breath. It doesn't take much. This is controversial, and I'm going to share it with you. Somebody asked me not too long ago, why? Why do your patients have such good outcomes? In my private practice that I've had for a quarter of a century, why do your patients have such good outcomes? What is your special sauce? This is going to horrify people in mental health, and we need like some sound effects here, like wah wah. I love them back to life. I love them back to life. It goes beyond unconditional positive regard, which is a psychology term. It goes beyond that. I love them back to life. I meet them where they are. I see who they are, and I stick with them. Let me do that for you too, okay? And I'll make you a deal. The more I work, the more you work, the more beautiful it gets. Please tune in. I See You with Karla Sue is on the I Have Today TV network. Let's have a toast. Everything just tastes better out of my I Have Today mug because it gives me meaning and purpose, people. See how simple it is? Oh, this is fun. I can't wait to see you again. I cannot wait to see you again. And you may have seen this on my Instagram reels, and I know it's cheesy and I know it's horrifying, but when my little boy was a little boy, I would always just make up little sing-song rhymes for him. And one of them was smoochies to youchies, and I would give him a big smooch right in the middle of his forehead. I'm doing that for you now. Smoochies to youchies. Know that I'll be here when you wake up.
Oh, surfer girl, wild and free. Waves carry heart and soul and comfort me. My wounds no longer bleed. My soul no longer needs. I am surfer girl, and I am free.